And off we go from Denver. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And not only does he have all the skills that you're looking for as a quarterback, he's incredibly tough and plays the game fearlessly as both a runner and a passer. You provide a good running game around him and let him throw deep off of play action, you've got an all-star in the making.
Don't jump. Ready? Right.
They'll start out here with the option left. And right away, he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now Fields going to keep it running left. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Fields. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now that brings up fourth down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3-and-out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept them short of a first down on first and second down. And then on third down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And taken at the 46. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over first and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by a 14-time Pro Bowl quarterback, twice a Super Bowl champion as well from the University of Tennessee. It's Peyton Manning.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
McCaffrey running up the middle.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. But Charles, clearly they wanted to send a message there and impose their will. They score on their opening possession on a drive comprised entirely of rushing the football.
Message sent. I don't know that the team on the other side of the field wanted to receive it, but what a statement on their opening drive. Just run it all the way downfield, no passes. That absolutely sets the tone that they're going to be physical in this game.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This taken in right around the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Fields going to keep it once more. And it caught it up. It's picked up by the Broncos. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
So the fumble recovery, and now Manning. This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Keyshawn Johnson, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back though and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. As they've got it as we resume action. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. The former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams there to bring him down.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Steps away to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Quentin Williams. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Well, that's taken on his own 46. There he goes, left side. And all the way home for the Broncos score. A 54-yard punt return there. And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. That's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to them.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Fields. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable. And really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome
We now
This was an
proceed to the
extremely
start
one-sided
of the second
first half. One team showed up, ready to go.
Welcome
the
back.
other's been in a daze thus
We
far.
are ready
But there's
for
still plenty of time left for this
3
one to
alongside
tighten
Charles
up
Davis.
significantly.
I'm Brandon Gordon. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. It's an 89-yard kick return, and the Broncos are able to widen their advantage. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On first down, Fields.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that.
Fields hit and the ball is loose.
It's picked up by the Broncos. The big fella inside the 10. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Now McManus for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Quentin Williams getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, this is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
And he fields it cleanly. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10.
Let's go.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
Here's McCaffrey. Oh, nice move. Down right around the 25. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. McCaffrey diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
McManus's point after is good, and it is 42-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. Taken at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we...
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Richard Sherman. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
McManus now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10. Fields again. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fielded at about the 28. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Here we go, Shaq.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Well, the Bears offense out there set and ready to go. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now Fields. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here comes the Bears punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Taking on the midfield logo. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously,